Welcome to this latest video from RG. Today we're discussing mergers and acquisitions and specifically M&A activity in the human capital sector. Joining me is Carl Swansbury, Head of Corporate Finance and Partner at RG Corporate Finance, and Spencer Jinks, Chief Executive at HW Global. Carl, starting with you, obviously the world is somewhat a different place to what it was in the first quarter of 2020, but is there still an appetite for M&A activity in the human capital sector? Give us your overview of what's happening in the sector at the moment.
Sure, absolutely, Jamie. And as you said, what with COVID, many businesses within the human capital sector have been significantly affected and impacted by COVID. I think the key thing to acknowledge is that, first of all, not only are there certain sectors that are continuing to show significant growth, be it healthcare, be it consumer, be it transport logistics, be it technology, but also, of course, within those sectors, talent has never been more sought after. So whilst, yes, there have been some very difficult challenges that all businesses have had to face, what with a change in market dynamic, the need to furlough staff, the need to deliver great outcomes for clients with less resource, the reality is there continues to be certain sectors within human capital that are performing not only better than others, but in fact incredibly well. In terms of M&A, Jamie, so over the last 3 months, we've advised on a range of transactions within the human capital sector. In terms of trends, I think the three key things I'd highlight are, first of all, sectors such as technology, healthcare, FMCG, transport and logistics have proven to be incredibly buoyant during COVID lockdown period. And in turn, therefore, those businesses placing talent into those sectors have performed well. Those businesses have remained profitable and therefore have been attractive. We've also seen some larger groups dispose of maybe non-core business interests. And a good example of that is Tech Consult in Norway, who decided to dispose of Tech Consult in the UK, which was acquired by their management team using debt from a regional debt fund. Similarly, there have been some significant businesses that have looked to take on board growth capital as they've scaled during this difficult period to continue to support their end clients. So as examples, Venturi, which is a large international technology staffing business, they went through a management buyout and actually brought into the business significant amounts of growth capital from a debt fund called Capel. And similarly, in the Northeast, a business called Primary Care, which is a healthcare staffing business, who've recently secured significant investment to grow. So I think in the round, Jamie, yes, I think everyone has had a difficult period, what with the uncertainty and volatility we're just seeing in the economy at large, but there continues to be a number of great businesses sitting in great sectors who are continuing to want to create scale, and of course that presents in turn M&A activity.
And the type of business you're advising, you've obviously mentioned a few there, but the type of business you're advising, it's not a sort of cut out and keep example. It's not just management teams that are looking at an MBO, and it's not just those that are looking at investing in growing businesses. I assume there's a broad spectrum of the type of activity you're involved in.
Indeed, Jamie. So at RG Corporate Finance, we are advising all different types of stakeholder on transactions. So just to give you some examples, so we can be working with a corporate acquirer who is looking to identify acquisition opportunities to help them diversify, to move into new markets, to move into new geographies, as an example. We also work with management teams who might be looking to acquire the business that they run, either from maybe a private equity house or their overseas parent, or in fact, just from the founding shareholder who maybe set up the business many years ago. Similarly, Jamie, we advise shareholders who are looking to create shareholder value and indeed look to extract that value through a transaction. And therefore, we often find ourselves advising on the sale of businesses in the human capital sector. And I think when I say human capital, just to be clear, we're talking about recruitment, search, training and skills orientated businesses. And of course, therefore, that definitely means we have the ability to see transactions from the perspective of all shareholders and stakeholder groups.
Thanks, Carl. That's a good opportunity. Spencer, turning to you, tell us a bit about HW Global and how the business is using M&A to expand its presence in the market.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, the business has a core focus across global consumer markets. So we've operated across 56 odd countries in the last 5 years alone. And from that standpoint, really consumer markets that could be anything from a physical manufacturing organization through to a business like Amazon, who have been a client for over a decade now. And that's in all areas. That's in the search space, that's in interim, that's in non-exec and chair. And we also reflect the same thing in financial services, predominantly in the disruptive space. And the whole M&A approach that Carl's been very supportive of has been based around complementary businesses. So obviously we're appointing a typically operating board and board level, certainly senior director level. And there's a real missed opportunity in our mind where we could work with a recruitment partner that was in-house, where we could actually filter down opportunity and also help them to grow and expand as an organisation and bring in that management support and accounting support as well, so that they can hopefully focus on what they're great at.
And you're currently looking at potential targets at the moment. What sort of businesses are you looking to engage with?
Again, businesses that are reflective of ourselves. The culture is everything to us. It's why we set the business up in the first place. So, we're a diverse culture. From that standpoint, we're looking for businesses that have an ambition equal to ours, but also want to do the things the right way. We've got high ethical standards in the organisation. It's something we're incredibly proud of. But at the same time, from a sector standpoint, we want to talk to businesses that we know we can add significant value. We're not going to be looking at an organisation that's completely outside of our area of expertise, because we just wouldn't be able to add the value that we could within a consumer, an FS, an interim or a non-executive share environment.
And it's not as if you're looking to acquire a business outright. You're looking to acquire a percentage of shareholding and to then work with the owners to develop the business.
Yeah, this isn't about taking over. This is about working with an ambitious management team within a company that is as passionate as we are about growth and sees the logic of working with a partner that has relationships at a board level within company. So from that point, it's about giving them the freedom to run their business. We are only interested in them because they've done a great job up to now, so why change it? And how we can add value from that point and support that future growth.
And just to finish off as a final point, you mentioned obviously the support that Carl and his team are giving you. How important is it to have a firm like RGCF on hand to help you with this process?
Look, we've all got our professions, haven't we? It's Carl's day job. So from that standpoint, he can bring a level of expertise, as can the business. That for us, when I'll be honest, we've looked at doing it ourselves previously, and it's a massive distraction, and it is not our area of expertise. And what Carl's brought is, that sort of common sense and logical approach, as well as a great network of relationships that we've been able to tap into. So it was a bit of a no-brainer.
Spencer, thank you very much. Carl, thank you also for your time. That was a really interesting insight, and look out for more videos from RG coming soon with other great insights into the activity that the firm's involved in.